Oh my goodness, no sound. Thank you very much. Are you hearing okay now? Let's see. I'm gonna keep going here. So to recap, so we didn't have any sound for the first couple of minutes. So to recap, I want to talk about timing when it comes to investing in the stock market. And this is a question that comes up a lot about when is the right time to buy a stock, if any particular stock is good to buy. It's very hard to ask that question because it really has to do with the strategy. So when you're buying a stock, and when you're thinking about buying a stock, especially one that has increased rapidly, or when you're thinking of selling a stock, maybe one that has declined rapidly, you really want to understand the macro, which is what's happening in the world, what's happening in that industry, and how might that be affecting that stock. And then you want to think about the micro. What are my current goals? What is my current investment strategy? Am I investing long term, short term? What are my expectations? Because stocks reflect the value, the perceived value by what investors think the company is going to be worth. So what many people do is they panic when a stock is going down very quickly, and we call that panic selling. And people also panic in a different way when a stock is increasing very rapidly, and that can be called this panic buy, where you think you might miss out on an opportunity. Unfortunately, this is where people lose a lot of money when they're purchasing a stock. So if a stock is going up rapidly, you generally don't want to just jump right in. You want to understand why it's going up, what are the effects, and what might happen to the stock when it stops going up rapidly. So you want to ask questions such as, is this increase due to something fundamental to the company? Meaning, did they introduce a new product that's doing well? Are they going into new markets that is doing well? Is there a big change in the industry that gives them an advantage? Because you want to understand, is this growth going to be sustainable, and is it going to last? And that's how you can really that's where you make your investment and not get caught up in the emotional moment, the emotions of the moment, and also get caught up in what everyone else is doing. So no particular stock is a bad investment or a good investment. Sometimes stocks could be better investments at certain times. And that's what it's really important to understand your strategy and why you're investing. Now, to make it more tangible, a very good example, you think of Tesla or Apple, they may start to fluctuate after such an increase, where some people have seen that the company went from maybe $150 to $300, and then someone might have bought it at that price, and it goes down to $250, but then comes back up again to almost $400, and then comes back down to maybe 360, and it has that fluctuation. For someone who doesn't understand the price, the timing, and how the value of an investment is perceived by investors, you might get caught up in that. But if you understand that, okay, maybe I'm buying Tesla and Apple for a long-term investment, then it's okay to, when you buy it at 300, or if you buy it at 300, it goes to 250, and then it goes back up to 400. You're not as taken aback by the fluctuations because you understand where it fits in your longer strategy. Now, if it's something that you want to just make quick money off of, then there might be another strategy. Maybe you don't buy it at 300 and hold it. Maybe you're waiting for it to hit 250 before you buy it, and then you make another $50 when it goes back up to 300. So these are just very rough examples of how timing can really affect the value of an investment of the same stock. And that's just a real brief overview for about 5 minutes or so of the concept of timing in buying investments. If there's any questions, we're also live on Facebook and Instagram. So any questions that come through, be on here for another 2 minutes or so, and we can discuss any investment questions. All right, we've got a question here coming through Facebook. Now, what's the difference between buying a stock short term and buying one long term? It's a great question. So buying a stock short term, short term is generally defined as any investment that is less than 12 months. Anything beyond 12 months is long-term investing. Now, the short-term investments are usually affected by news, current events, and so you want to really stay up on what's happening in as far as any new product launches, anything that's happening in the market. These are the things that will affect short-term investments. Now, when you're thinking about long-term investments, those they will still be affected by the same factors as short-term investments. But when you're thinking of long-term investments, you want to really understand the industry that company is in, and think about how that industry is growing. So one reason Tesla might be doing really well is because the industry of electric vehicles is increasing. So they're going to benefit long term from that market increase, and whereas they may benefit short term or maybe negatively impacted short term by their production activity, whether they can get vehicles out quickly or not. That might be something that affects them short term. And then you think about what is the whole industry of electric vehicles and how does that look? And that can give you an indication of long-term value for an investment. So that's one way that long-term and short-term investments are different. All right, a couple more seconds here. Any other thoughts or questions? Companies that you're thinking of buying? All right, thank you for joining. And Moulin Diva, thank you for letting us know about the technical sound. And please do join the course, gain more information. It's the link that I shared gives you free access for 2 months on Skillshare for DIY investing tips and lessons to help you build your first investment portfolio. I think it's an important skill for everyone to have, especially today, and learn how to control your financial future. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.